Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Clear and cold, seeing a big old moon hanging right here over the TV station. We'll talk about a cold start this morning and how much warmer it will be soon.
Admitted to lying. For the first time, the woman who falsely accused 3 Duke men's lacrosse players of rape says on the record she made it up. New developments in that story that made national headlines nearly 2 decades ago.
And turning the tassel, the commencement ceremonies happening today across the state. I can almost hear the pomp and circumstance. Well, good morning, everyone. It is 4:30. We are graduating this week. We're like toward the end. We're almost there. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, we just have to get past that Friday the 13th, and that's all clear, okay? Warm up on the weekend, but right now it is chilly out there once again. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with that look at Rocky Mount.
Yeah, it's a big coat morning out there. This is a pretty look at Rocky Mount Mills where the tower is lit there, and it's 31 degrees in the triangle. We don't have wind today. Yesterday we had a little bit of a wind chill. It was feeling like 20s, even though we were close to freezing. And this morning it's in the 20s in more places than it was yesterday. 27 in Roxborough and 28 in South Hill, 28 Goldsboro, 29 there in Rocky Mount and Wilson, 30 in Fayetteville, 31 in Durham, Raleigh, and Southern Pines. We check out our frosty start. There's definitely frost on the windshields out there this morning in most places, so you may need a minute or two to scrape your windshield. We'll see temperatures in the 30s up until around 10 a.m. and mid-50s for highs this afternoon, which is very close to normal for this time of year. I'll show you what's coming our way to really bump up our temperatures. How about some 70s, y'all?
Sounds good to me. Elizabeth, thank you. It's a story that dominated national headlines nearly 20 years ago. 3 Duke men's lacrosse players falsely accused of rape. For the first time, the woman who accused them admits she made it up. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Duke's campus. Kelsey, this is the first time Crystal Mangum has gone on the record admitting to lying.
Yes, Renee, this morning we're following a new development in a story that shook Duke's campus and the entire nation. Crystal Mangum just admitted to making up those rape allegations years ago. So she was recently interviewed from prison and appeared on the Let's Talk to Kat podcast. Mangum said she made the whole thing up and asked for forgiveness. Back in 2006, Mangum was performing as a stripper at a Duke men's lacrosse team party. She claimed that 3 players trapped her in a bathroom and raped her. But her story was inconsistent. Then Attorney General Roy Cooper dismissed all charges against those men, declaring them innocent. So right now, Mangum is in prison after being convicted for murdering her boyfriend. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Today, Tazir Zarka plans to testify in his own defense. He's the Raleigh store owner accused of murdering a customer who stole a Gatorade. We heard from Zarka for the first time yesterday in court. The prosecutor played a police interview with Zarka after the stabbing at his shop in downtown Raleigh. Attorneys also showed surveillance video leading up to the stabbing. It shows the confrontation between Mark Garrity and Zarka after Garrity put a Gatorade in his bag. Eventually, Zarka took out a 4-inch pocket knife. He told an investigator he was going to cut the straps off Garrity's bag and that he was acting in self-defense.
It didn't seem like it cut him or anything at the time? I'm sure, yeah. When he fell on the floor, I saw the blood in his chest.
Zarka could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted.
An American man found alive in Syria says he was held for months by the Assad regime. Travis Timmerman told several media outlets that he had been in jail for months. He says he was released Monday when 2 men armed with AK-47s broke down his cell door. He was wandering barefoot in Damascus when he was found yesterday. Timerson says he crossed into Syria from Lebanon without a visa when he was arrested.
What did they do to you once you were picked up?
I was interviewed to see if I was a political actor, but then they cleared me essentially, and then I was just held in prison. I wasn't beaten or anything like that.
Timmerman says he didn't see any other Americans while he was in prison and knows nothing about the whereabouts of Austin Tice. Tice is an American journalist who disappeared in Syria 12 years ago.
Thousands of local college students will walk across the stage this weekend and become college graduates, and that includes St. Augustine's University. WRAL's Nick Perlin joins us live from St. Aug's campus right now. Nick, this is commonplace for a lot of universities every December, but the commencement is the first in December for this university.
Jeff, that's right, and this commencement does come after a vote on Tuesday by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges to remove St. Augustine's accreditation. Now, despite Tuesday's vote, this decision is not final. St. Augustine is appealing the board's decision, and the university will keep its accreditation until then. This means that graduates crossing the stage today and in May will still get a degree from an accredited university. However, alums tell WRAL the decision by the board is disappointing. Still, graduation will take place today. The commencement ceremony is at 11 a.m., so still a good day for those crossing the stage. However, if you want a full breakdown on the timeline of St. Augustine trying to keep their accreditation, that story is on our website, WRAL.com. Live on St. Augustine's campus, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
And North Carolina Central University and Eastern Carolina University will hold commencements today. NC State's commencement will be Saturday. UNC's is Sunday. Congratulations to all those December graduates.
New this morning, a flight bound for Charlotte was forced to turn back to New York after reported bird strike. A news producer from the NBC affiliate in Charlotte recorded what happened when the plane took off from LaGuardia Airport. The strike happened just moments after takeoff. The flight was diverted to New York's JFK Airport. The plane landed safely and no injuries were reported. Passengers were put in hotels for the night, and the flight is set to take off this morning.
A city in northeast Ohio is preparing for more heavy snow after an already active lake effect season. Ashtabula is under a state of emergency from the snow it's gotten over the past several days. Meteorologists say surfaces were icy due to the snow, followed by a flash freeze. The state DOT says salt isn't as effective to treat the roads because of the extremely low temperatures. Some areas are still digging out from a major snowstorm last month.
Business owners in Asheville say business is slower than normal after Helene. Governor-elect Josh Stein visited businesses in Asheville yesterday. Explore Asheville says about 29,000 jobs depend on tourism and represent about 20% of the area's economy. Business owners told Stein they are seeing a lot less foot traffic than normal.
The folks need to understand that Asheville, that the rest of Western North Carolina is open for business, and they're not only open for business, they're desperate for business. Folks are really struggling. We need to come here, support these businesses that we know we love, and help boost their opportunity and their chance for success.
Anyone who wants to support Asheville businesses but cannot make it to the area can do so by visiting exploreasheville.com.
It wasn't a great night for football, especially if you like touchdowns. Los Angeles Rams beat the San Francisco 49ers in the first game of the entire NFL season that had 0 touchdowns. No touchdowns. The Rams got the win 12-6, all field goals. What a rock fight. Even without touchdowns, though, the Rams fans, they're going to be happy about this win. It puts the team within a half game of first place in the NFC West.
We have you covered for this weekend's football games. The Panthers will play the Cowboys at 1 p.m. on Fox 50. The Panthers are home favorites in this one. In the second half of our doubleheader, the Pittsburgh Steelers will play the Philadelphia Eagles at 4:25 p.m. And then on Sunday Night Football on NBC, the Seattle Seahawks host the Green Bay Packers.
Escape route details. How police say the person who shot and killed the CEO of United Healthcare got out of New York City.
Changing rules for reality TV. Why the Labor Department wants contestants to be treated as employees.
And we'll give you this live look. Good morning in Apex. Another cold one, so grab the coat out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us what is ahead for our weekend.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
442, we're taking a live look outside. It is nice and clear. We've got a beautiful moon out there. It's actually going to be full on Sunday, so we'll have lots of opportunities to take a look at it over the next few days. 31 in Durham, where the Lucky Strike Tower is all lit up. 31 in Raleigh and 30 degrees in Fayetteville. Temperatures this morning are pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. We just don't have quite as much wind, so there's no wind chill to deal with. But we're still looking at temperatures close to freezing, upper 20s to low 30s. Some frost out there for sure. You may need to scrape the windshield a little bit this morning. Heading out to walk the dog, definitely the gloves will feel good on your hand when you have to hold the leash. Temperatures will be close to freezing up until around 9 o'clock, and we'll climb into the mid-50s for this afternoon. I'll show you what's going to bring much warmer temperatures for next week coming up.
We're learning new details about how police say Luigi Mangione escaped New York after the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. NYPD says they lost the shooter after he took off from the scene on an e-bike into Central Park and ended up at a bus station in uptown Manhattan. Well, the chief of detectives now says they believe the Mangione got on a bus, or on a subway, I should say, from there and went back downtown, as you saw on that map. That's where they believe he made his way to Philadelphia and then Pittsburgh and then to Altoona, where he was arrested. Police say he withdrew money from an ATM and paid for everything in cash.
A new rule would significantly reduce the cost of overdraft fees. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's rule establishes overdraft coverage as a loan and subject to certain rules. Instead of charging an overdraft fee that averages $35 per transaction, the fee would be capped at $5. Banks could charge a fee that only covered their costs, meaning they don't turn a profit for overdraft protection. Finally, banks can charge interest for loaning the customer money to cover an overdraft, but the bank would have to disclose the interest rate first. The rule will take effect next October.
A complaint filed by U.S. labor officials could change the game for reality show participants. The National Labor Relations Board is taking action against the producers of the show Love is Blind. They want participants to be classified as employees, making them eligible for worker protections. This comes after two of the show's contestants filed complaints saying they were put in dangerous situations. A hearing is scheduled for next April on that.
Bill Belichick coaching at UNC impacts more than just Carolina football. We asked NC State head coach Dave Doran his thoughts on Belichick joining the rivalry between these two teams.
Well, welcome to the ACC, and excited, to compete against Coach. Obviously, all coaches in the business have a great amount of respect and know what he's done in the profession. So for me as a competitor, I'm excited to compete, and that's about all I have to say about it. Really not thinking a whole lot about that program, thinking about my own.
NC State has won 4 straight games against the Tar Heels. We have in-depth coverage of the UNC coaching hire on WRAL.com and on the WRAL News app. You can watch any public portion of the meetings, see the reaction to this hire, and the history of UNC coaches.
Leaders in Fayetteville are working to make the city more walkable. Residents there attended an information gathering session to talk about what needs to be done to make city streets safer. City leaders say when it comes to street safety, everything is on the table in this. Includes finishing the sidewalks, traffic circles, adding pedestrian-controlled crosswalks, and improved lighting.
That when we assess these different areas, that they are safe for pedestrians, bicyclists, or anybody that has any type of mobility issue.
Now, money for these suggested projects would come from the State Department of Transportation. Fayetteville is competing with other municipalities to get on the NCDOT project list. That is why it is critical to get the assessment done now.
2 Raleigh music festivals are coming to an end. In a 6-month time span, the IBMA Bluegrass Festival and Dreamville Festival announced that their time in Raleigh would be ending. The Bluegrass Festival is moving to Tennessee. There are already plans to create a new music festival with a broader range of music and Carolina roots.
Now there's time for the community to host its own events like that. What's great about Dreamville is that it has proven that that site and that kind of event works here and that it's really embraced here.
Dreamville organizers say next year will be their last. No replacement festival has been announced.
Christmas tree at the state capitol is all lit up.
3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas!
North Carolina grown Fraser fir is 26 feet tall. It's visible from Fayetteville Street. Governor Roy Cooper helped to kick off that celebration last night. Festivities were held in Capitol Square with holiday music performed by the Raleigh Concert Band. Great sights and sounds right there. And right in line, Elizabeth Gardner on cue with the Capitol Broadcasting towers. And they've all been lit already. And now we get a good look at them.
Yeah, this is our contribution to holiday spirit, that's for sure. So we have the Lucky Strike Tower lit in Durham. And of course, right here in our backyard, our tower that sits right here on Western Boulevard. And then at Rocky Mount Mills as well. Temperatures are festively chilly out there this morning, too. At the Triangle, it's 31. And in Rocky Mount, 29 degrees. It's nice and clear right now. There'll be just a few passing clouds out there for today, but we'll call it mostly sunny. It's 29 in Goldsboro and Rocky Mount, or upper 20s for South Hill and Roxboro, and low 30s from the Triangle down into some of our southern towns like Fayetteville, Clinton, and in Southern Pines. Our weather watcher photo comes from JT Davis, a beautiful Cary sunset with a few clouds out there. That was from just a couple of days ago. We had a few showers out there. We would love to see your weather watcher photo. Go to WRAL.com and search weather watchers. Send us a few. Holiday lights, whatever you have going on. So many fun holiday festivals going on right now. High pressure is in control of our weather right now. High pressure brings sinking air, drying conditions, so we'll be mostly clear. There's a little bit of moisture that's trying to get organized down here along the Gulf Coast, and you can see way out ahead of it, just a little bit of cloud cover. We're not going to see that rain approaching us anytime soon, but we may see just a few clouds drifting over. As a matter of fact, you can see some of those clouds over the moon right now. The moon will be full on Sunday, and while it will be absolutely gorgeous, it could cause some issues for watching the Geminid meteor shower. This looks like it's going to be a really good Geminid shower. The meteor showers, sometimes it's a good year, sometimes it's a bad year. We're likely to see up to 120 meteors per hour. That's a really active one, so it's going to be a good one. It will peak overnight tonight. Best viewing will be right around midnight. Just make sure that you can find a place where it is not too bright outside, not too much in terms of city lights. 55 is our normal high. We're going to see temperatures in the 50s through the weekend, but then we're going to jump into the 70s. Look at this. We get to almost 70 on Tuesday, and then we switch gears and we're back to some rain. We'll talk about the drought monitor and how much rain we could really use coming up.
December in North Carolina. A life-changing moment for a veteran.
Now I'm going to be able to be independent, have a family if I want one, a backyard.
What having a home built to accompany her needs means for her future.
Plus, the two movies facing off at the 2025 Critics' Choice Awards for Best Picture.
Check this out. Frigid cold produced sea smoke on Lake Superior in Duluth, Minnesota. Sea smoke is formed when water vapor is added to air that's much colder than the vapor source. This happens most often when very cold air drifts across very warm water.
Business is booming at Raleigh Ironworks. In the last few months, several of those businesses have been able to, this is opened up, and second part of the three-phase development along Atlantic Avenue is where this is happening. WRAL's Brett Neese went there and reports the third phase is off and running now before it's completed.
This is Salvage Yard. It's Grubb Ventures' third phase in the redevelopment of this area. Triangle Rock Club is the first business to open up in this phase, and more are already signed on as the entire Atlantic Avenue corridor continues to transform. A nearly 50-foot wall towers above those who dare to test their rock climbing skills inside TRC's new Salvage Yard location.
I went 3 days in a row when it opened, and then I had to rest my hands.
TRC Salvage Yard opened less than a week ago. I was inside this building in July of 2023 when it was nothing but a shell of a former warehouse. Since then, it's been transformed into this.
And the bouldering is just seems like 5 times the size of any bouldering options in the area.
It's not the only business to open in the past couple of months throughout Grubb Ventures' multi-phase development. Several have set up shop here in Raleigh Ironworks. A Grubb Ventures spokesperson tells me they are already at an 86% retail occupancy rate for Ironworks. Office space is about 60% filled. Even on a rainy day, those who live and work in this area stop in for lunch or yoga or to shop. Dan Kolupski says he prefers the convenience of mixed-use spaces like this.
And they're really trying to make a concerted effort to
put a lot here for adults, families, stuff that people can come out and enjoy no matter what day of the week.
These are new renderings of what nearby salvage yard will look like when it's completed. Construction is already underway.
I live right down the road, so it's been a nice little addition to the neighborhood.
One thing residents in this area want to see improved is the walkability, especially along Atlantic Avenue. I'm told that the developer is set to meet with the city in the next few weeks to discuss options to do that. In Raleigh, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
That salvage yard phase should be completed in 2025.
The nominees for the 2025 Critics' Choice Awards have been revealed. John M. Chu's epic musical, Wicked, earned 11 nominations, including Best Director for the filmmaker, as well as Best Picture and Best Acting for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The film ties with the Vatican drama Conclave, which is also up for Best Picture. The hit sci-fi sequel Dune Part 2 and Netflix's crime thriller musical Emilia Perez picks up 10 nods each. The winners will be announced during a ceremony hosted by Chelsea Handler, airing January 12th.
This is a heartwarming story for the holiday season. We captured the moment a local veteran was surprised with a groundbreaking for a new home in Rocky Mount. Sergeant Kelsey McInnes is a retired Army officer who was injured during training. The home was built to care for her needs and provided in partnership with the Helping a Hero organization and Bass Pro Shops. McInnes says this will change her life.
I'm always worried about what my next step is going to be. And honestly, they just took that away from me, all the worry, all the unknown, and I can't thank anyone enough, Now I'm going to be able to be independent, have a family if I want one, a backyard, be able to shower without be worrying. So I'm very grateful.
That's a new life, and the hope is that her home will be finished by May of next year.
She made it up. Crystal Mangum admits she falsely accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of rape in 2006. We will break down her admission.
1 dead, 1 injured in a plane crash in New York. We'll show you the damage on a highway near the border of Connecticut.